It is 1:01. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Nashville Soccer Club extended its unbeaten streak to 15 with a 5-2 win over DC United in the U.S. Open Cup semifinals. Nashville fell behind 2-0 in the first half, but rallied back with 5 unanswered goals to move on to the semifinal round, which will be played in September. In the NBA, the Phoenix Suns and star guard Devin Booker agreed to terms on a 2-year, $145 million extension that keeps him with the Suns through the 2029-2030 NBA season. This is the highest annual extension salary in NBA history. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here at 105 The Zone, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Later this hour, we'll be joined by wrestling legend R-Truth, Ron Killings, R-Truth of WWE, which is, it has blown my mind because I was just told this about 5 minutes ago, and I'm on a high. I'm running on adrenaline and energy right now because R-Truth is a legend. And Ron Killings, of course, is his real name, but awesome.
Well, I'm hoping it happens. I'm praying that who said that he was going to come through and he's going to come through. But I think he is.
I think he is. I mean, hey.
We got some music. We got his music, too,
We're going to get his music together and all that kind of stuff, so...
Zeph, and he's supposed to forward it to you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so, I mean, I really don't know where to start because, I mean, I guess we can start with this collusion case because this is kind of like WWE right now.
Oh,
because the updates with it, it has gotten, over the last 24 hours, Blaine, it actually started during our show, the last about 10 minutes of our show yesterday. We were talking about Xavier Restrepo, but basically what came out yesterday was ESPN ended up talking about that the NFL and the NFLPA jointly agreed to conceal the findings of that case. And to really conceal that, which means that they're concealing the whole situation around it. Not great.
I wonder why.
Well... Let me say something. This is a case about collusion. And I'm telling you right now, the NFLPA and the NFL, they're the ones colluding right now against the players. Because then it takes another turn. NFLPA, the head of the NFLPA, Lloyd Howe, also works for a firm approved to invest in NFL teams. So he works with an investment group that can go around and purchase interest in NFL teams. You know how Denver sold a couple of their shares to people, and we've seen Philadelphia
with the Brady and
Raiders.
Seymour.
He's part of a group that can do that with the NFL.
Oh. So
why wouldn't he want to have this concealed on their behalf? Why wouldn't he agree with that? Because he wants to be an owner, have interest in an NFL team.
Oh, this is a curveball. I did not know this.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, it's just like WWE. That's why I'm all hyped. Like, this is insane.
Who came up with the storyline, though?
I mean, it sounds like...
The participants come up with the story, or do they?
It kind of sounds like J.C. Treader and Lloyd Howe are the ones that are really putting the screen. Because after this got announced, right? So 6 months ago, the ruling was there. Nobody ever knew about it in the NFL players. Mm-hmm. Then it comes out, Pablo Torre, his podcast leaked it and talked about it, really made it public. Now, after yesterday, when it came out that the NFLPA also agreed with the NFL to conceal the findings and basically put an embargo on talking about it, after that got released, that's when Lloyd Howe says, well, we're going to appeal the decision now. So now they're going to appeal it, allegedly, just to really make him look good, like he's trying to work. Then it comes out today that NFLPA head Lloyd Howe also works for a firm that is looking to buy pieces of interest in NFL teams, which is insane, by the way.
Lloyd Howe.
I mean, and if you remember, I don't have my notes with me. There was a time where he worked with some government contracting agency, and then he had a whistleblower, and he conveniently he ignored the whistleblower's plea and all this kind of stuff. Then he resigned and joined the NFLPA. Just insane to begin with. So he is working as a paid part-time consultant for the Carlyle Group, Blaine, one of a select group of league-approved private equity firms now seeking minority ownership in NFL franchises. Hal joined the firm in March of 2023, 3 months before the NFLPA hired him to be the player's chief representative in relations to the league. A source with knowledge of the matter said that the NFLPA executive committee was aware that Hal was serving on outside boards and working for the Carlyle Group.
Which is a conflict of interest.
Yeah. And remember, you may have forgotten, but just in case our listeners have forgotten, if you remember, they did not give anybody any information on who they were voting for until the day the players on who they were voting for this position that he now holds until about 5 or 10 minutes before the day of the vote.
And that's happened before.
That's happened before.
I obviously, I can't say to who was the, going to be the president or anything like that of the NFLPA, but there was always things passed, and I used to always, a player, not just me, but I'm always going to just talk about in reference to me, but, guys like, well, when did we vote on this? And it just gets passed. And we weren't the only team. I mean, so nobody said they voted. Nobody, not even the rep. And sometimes you would find out maybe the rep voted in accord for, the team and only call it 10 players.
Yeah. The players are genuinely
baffled in this.
I mean, they're just kind of screwed, unfortunately. Yeah. Also, not long after the agreement was struck, Hal briefed the executive committee of 10 player unions and union president in a conference call, according to several sources briefed on the meeting. Multiple sources familiar with the union's history say they are not aware of the union previously striking a confidentiality agreement. And now, as we're getting everything set up, we actually do have Ron Killings in studio right now.
You got the camera, or he needs to sit somewhere else there, Jackson?
He's good.
Go? Thank you.
He's good to go.
Good to go,
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Bro. Thanks for coming through, man.
I appreciate you.
We have some huge fans that work at the station that are big, man, right over Zach, man. He's
really?
Well, he told me 5 minutes before the show, and I'm like,
5
what?
minutes ago.
No, dog, you serious?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, that's
I'm
good.
Yeah. Kept him live, man. So, man, we really appreciate you stopping by. We're going to first start with his music there, Jackson, for the intro. How about that? Did you want to do that right now?
All right, so that's now. What's the name of the song? I don't have the.
You can tell us all about it.
So
tell us all about
When
it.
it all adds up, man.
So kind of take us through a backdrop of how you came up with the song and the lyrics and everything. Was it an experience? Kind of tell us a little bit about
life, man. Life is the experience of it, man.
Yeah.
Life is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, through all that adversity, everything you go through with lifing you to death. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's around when you're up. Everybody's around when you're doing good, when the lights on, the camera's flashing, everybody's around. How many people are you going to have around? Whether it's a friendship, relationship, situationship, how many people are going to be around when it all adds up? At the end of the day, when the sun is down, when the door is closed, everything is said and done, how many people can you count on one hand is going to be around for you?
Dang. So give us a little backdrop on your background, man. We all know you were a champion, at one point, but what led up to that? Only people know the champion, but like, what was the build up all the way through your life to get to that? Did you always want to be a wrestler?
I didn't want to be a wrestler, man. I was always an artist. I was an entertainer.
Oh.
I met a guy named Jack Crockett in a halfway house.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I got to be this big ball of energy I am. I met Jack Crockett in a halfway house, long story short, and he never gave back before. He said God told him to give back to me. I was trying to get him to invest in my music career, and he said, no, you're different. You can do this, you can do that. You can build your own audience that will support. You can do your own thing. So he introduced me to professional wrestling. And I was a fan, I was aware of it, but I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. He said, you'll be the first one to rap and dance. And this is when he sold it to Turner. And then fast forward, I tried it. I had nothing else. Wrestling saved my life. So I put the music on hold from being this big rap star to doing wrestling. And I started wrestling and going to different levels. I met with Vince McMahon. He signed me to this $1 billion machinery, WWE, and it just like soared from there. Now I'm at the place where I'm able to release and do my music. What really got me involved with wrestling. And a friend of mine named Alex, he's friends with Jelly Roll, and he told me and was in conversation. He said, bro, the majority of your audience, like you've been doing this worldwide, he said, you should do 3 country songs and thank me later. I told my producer, Jay Trax, hey, bro, Alex said we should do 3 country songs. He said, let's do a whole album. And just might be telling you, I've been in Georgia, I've lived in South Carolina, North Carolina. When I go up north, when I go places, they say you country. I think country is a state of mind. It's how you feel. It's a culture. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of just being. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my new country is where I'm at now, and I'm able to bring y'all everything you've heard from the meeting in the halfway house to WWE to now I'm able to bring y'all some professional country music, and this is what I introduce as new country.
So is that what brings you to Nashville? Before I flip it to my partner over there,
I lived in Nashville 6 years.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
I'm a man. So. Wow, kind of take us through. You said you lived in different spots, but I don't understand that.
I lived in the Hermitage, man. 6 years.
Okay.
I was the first black NWA champion, and I was crowned that at the Auditorium here in Nashville in 2002. So like I got kind of like some roots here, and it's just like it's wild. I'm like living a dream because I'm able to come back full circle right here, and I'm pretty much debuting my country stardom, my country music, my country vibe, that swing right here in Nashville.
So now that you're debuting that album, or kind of
the album's out right. The album's not released yet, but I got a couple of singles out. Barnyard Flexing, When It All Adds Up, Count My Sins. Those songs are out now. You can go get them.
Tell everybody where they can go get them.
Wherever you get your music and listen to your music at, you can go get those songs. When It All Adds Up speaks for itself. Count My Sins speaks for itself. And Barnyard Flexing, it's a dance to it. And we all got to learn how to barnyard flex.
So what name do you want to
go by? We got to learn the barnyard flex?
We go our truth, or we go I mean, how do we
Killings, man.
Killings? Okay,
I turned to both of them, dog.
Okay,
you know
that's what I'm saying. Which way you want to be introed? Former champion?
Ron Killings. You know what I'm saying?
Ron Killings.
AKA Our Truth.
Our Truth. There you have it.
There you go. We got people in the chat going crazy, by the way, so we're on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
someone goes, the greatest 24/7, 48/7, 7-Eleven, I-95 South European television champion of all time.
They remembered all that?
They have it all right here.
Wow, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Got a lot of fans here in Nashville.
That's my roots are here in Nashville, man. So this country thing is like a hand in glove with me here in Nashville.
Yeah.
What up?
Well, you got, let's see, we got the 2002 run that you were just referencing with Straight Gas. Here, that's from Stoney Keeley and all that.
I remember that.
I was about to say, I remember you getting your start as K Quick, and we have someone else in here.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm an old guy that's watched a lot of wrestling and everything back in the day. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Seasoned.
I mean, the chat's going crazy right now.
I love it.
Love the TNA run. This is the greatest thing I've seen all day. What's up? So there you go. I guess you had mentioned Jelly Roll. How much of an influence was he on this album? Is he going to be on the album with you or anything like that? Or
I mean, I'm going to be talking to Jelly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About trying to get him on the album. It's a lot of guys I like to feature with. Jelly was an example that Alex used for me. You know, like when he hit the country and started like really making music that pulled at people's heartstring and that was relatable and just give you that feel. Well, my R-Truth character is that same way. I give people that feel that I take you on a roller coaster of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like people can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like just jumping over into that vibe and bringing country and just relating and connecting and I'm a unifier. I like uniting things and cultures and different genres of music. I got EDM music. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Me jumping into this country, man, just me jumping into the style of what I always been.
And now, obviously, SmackDown's Friday here in Nashville.
Yes.
And then you got Jelly Roll's supposedly making an appearance there. Are you there's rumors that he is going to be jumping into the ring at SummerSlam. Are you helping train him?
Man, right now, Ron Killings is doing his thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm driving right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know
you're
what car
doing the
they
music.
in.
So
Yeah,
you basically y'all switched.
I'm doing it all, dog, right now. The music is what we're focusing on right now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we can talk about that one, but the Corner Wedgwood, I'll be there July 10th tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Corner
okay.
4 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So, like, show up. We're going to get down. You get to hear some of this country music. Y'all hear that in the chat?
Yeah, so say it again. Corner Wedgwood?
Yes.
Yeah, Corner
What
Wedgwood.
time?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. So shortly after the show. So that's good timing.
Yeah.
Because people can, get done listening to our show, then go listen to your show.
That's it.
Look at that synergy right there.
Synergy. You see that? That's what we're bringing.
There you go.
All day.
Well, we really appreciate you stopping in and everything. This has been a pleasure. And I love seeing the different side of you because I only know the TV side. So I love hearing about the different side of you and this music side and all that kind of stuff. And you're growing up and all this kind of stuff. So,
yes, you get to get the passion.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, that'll do
Appreciate
it for
it, my
us.
man.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's been our truth. Ron Killings here promoting his new album, and of course, over at Corner Wedgwood today, 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Playing some songs off his album, country album as well.
Country album, shaking hands, kissing
there you
babies.
go.
Come on out.
And as well as we got to thank Corey Jones, man, to get him over
Corey
here,
Jones,
baby.
my dog.
Yeah. We got him over
Corey,
here.
J Tracks, my whole team back here. You know,
Yeah.
KV.
Yeah, you
You
got
know
a
what I'm saying?
team
We
with
all.
And we got to learn
moving.
the Barnyard Flex too, apparently, right? That's the new Barnyard Flex.
Barnyard Flex. It's also a friend of mine just came up with a line dance for when it all adds up.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'll be posting that real soon.
All right,
so
there
you
you
gotta
go.
learn the Barnyard Flex and when it all adds up.
Barnyard
You gonna learn
Flex.
those something?
Do we need to
Barnyard
follow
Flex.
you on Instagram for that?
Yes. and
Okay,
I'll follow
what's your
you back.
Instagram?
Ron Killings 1.
There you go.
Killings one. That's you.
That's me
There
on
you go.
all my social media.
I got you.
Ron Killings 1. Ron Killings, really appreciate it. This has been Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here at 104.5 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here at 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. Just had Ron Killings on. We shared with him all the love he was getting in the chat, even after we were off the air. And I just want to say that he genuinely loved hearing from all you guys and loved hearing that. And, very grateful. And I'm grateful that he was able to tell his story and all that stuff. I think he forgot his sunglasses, by the way.
Oh, man. Let me run that out to him.
Okay, so if you missed it, it will be probably on the best of, maybe, Jackson? If people missed it, what should they do?
It'll be up on podcast momentarily, Ross.
There you go. There you go. Ross, who is a coward and decided not to play Jackson last night in NCAA. He will have that up in podcast form in a moment. Hopefully, I'm assuming we'll have a video as well, or maybe a little special clip that we can promote. There you go. There you go. So sorry, Bustin, that you missed it, but we'll get that out to you as soon as possible. But, I mean, listen, Shannon, I wish we didn't on Facebook, on the F&M Bank chat, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. Don't let Ron go. I wish we couldn't. I wish he could have stayed all day, but he's got a concert to go to.
Yeah, we
got a concert
were lucky. That's why I've always been like, I don't know if going to have somebody. That's why I didn't tell you last week, because then he said they naturally went to BMI before they came here, so they would be close, so they could squeeze it in. So I really appreciate it about Corey Jones and his staff and everybody else, man, for really making that happen. We had discussed this last week, so for it to really happen, you just never know, especially when you have so many different things you're trying to do when guys are in town and promo and everything.
And then he's doing a video shoot as well, so some kind of documentary is being done right now. So I guess I'm going to be in this documentary unless they cut me out.
We are, including Jackson. But see, that's why I wanted Jackson to turn on the light so they could see him.
Yeah,
in the documentary. That's what I was talking about when I said that.
I was very much a little bit in awe of the spectacle that was.
It was. I mean, it was a lot of people.
That was awesome.
And they were all silent too. Like he didn't have any. They weren't distracting or anything. And that was a professionally run machine right there.
His first rodeo right there.
Yeah.
I didn't know his story though.
Yeah.
I was doing some research, man. I didn't know he was, came from rough upbringings there. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I
mean, how he
mean,
turned his life around like that.
I mean, there's all kinds of stories of he's one of those characters, I guess you would say, or wrestlers. He's always trying to break people, like make them laugh. All the serious wrestlers, and tries to make them laugh. He ad-libs a lot. He's really funny. I mean, he's just already.
He's comedic on some occasions. You watch some of his stuff. Yeah.
I mean, like you could just feel the energy because he talks about it. He's like, I'm a big ball of energy. You could feel it. I mean, he was like, sometimes you get someone on a show and they're just kind of like maybe they're a little boring, or you have to pull stuff out of them. Mm-hmm. Not him. I mean, he was just ready to. He could have probably talked for another hour if he didn't have other stuff to go to.
Yeah, so make sure you follow him, man.
Yeah, got to follow him. Ron Killings 1.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you're on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, whatever. That's what his social media is.
Yeah. I know you were a big fan of his, so that was really kind of cool to see you in that kind of element. But what was it like? Just were you in awe a little bit, or did you get past that? It was like when I went against Jerry Rice the first time. My first start, my legs was shaking. Then after one play, it was like, okay, this is just football.
Well, see, I've been to a couple of wrestling shows, and so I'm a heckler of wrestlers.
Oh, you're a heckler.
But a funny heckler.
Okay,
like, I would be like, someone would walk by Roman Reigns, and I'd go, nice manicure, Roman Reigns. It sounds lamer when you're not, when you're
in
sober.
The element, right.
But he really thought it was hilarious because, that's what they don't, they get. Yeah. I went to a house show for WWE, and there was a wrestler there, and I was like, I love you, something like that. The shirt that he wore to the ring, he took it off and threw me. I still got it.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. So I'm a huge wrestling fan. Like, I know his original persona when he went to WWE. I thought he was.
What'd you say it was? K-Wick?
K-Quick.
K-Quick. Okay, yeah. I was
and
learning as I was in here.
Like, to me, that's how I kind of remember him. And because he was, he talks about, you can rap, you can dance, you can be the first wrestler like that and all that kind of stuff. And he was. But the stuff that, the splits he's able to do, like he's able to do the splits on the fly. He raps on the way into the ring. Oh, yeah. And he can still do it.
He was kind of swole, too.
I don't want to call his age out. 53 years old, could still do the splits.
Oh.
And he does the splits by jumping up and doing the splits, like on the ground.
Oh, wow.
He's one of the most athletic people pound for pound in the WWE, especially at his age. He was a little shorter than I thought he would be.
Oh, yeah.
Because it always seems like the wrestlers should be so much bigger.
I used to get that a lot, too.
You're a lot shorter. I never get that.
Yeah,
I never get that.
I just said, no, I just play big.
Yeah.
I had to come up with that because it happened too often. It was like, I had to come up with a comeback.
I think everybody probably expects I'm a 5'8" guy, so I don't think I surprised anybody on that. Let's go to the phones, 615-737-1045. Let's go to Eric, who wants to talk about R-Truth. Eric, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Hey, couple things, guys. First of all, of course, everybody, of course, remembers a month ago he was released. So what happened today, of course, was a shock because this was not expected because of fan pressure that brought him back. And, of course, you remember a number of years ago when he was with TNA, he was a World Tag Team Champion with Pac-Man Jones. And they had that pay-per-view.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. They had the pay-per-view at the, I guess, the Municipal Auditorium, and I think Frank Rochette was also involved that night.
I think
also, there were some other Titans players. So, yeah. I figured I'd bring that up. But, yeah, he's an entertainer. Love the guy. I'm glad he's back.
Zach Peeler, too. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, you're right. I think it was Zach Peeler. I'm not mistaken. I think, was it Kyle Vandenbosch also involved? Or was it somebody else? Or it may have been Taylor Wilde. I don't know. I don't remember all the people involved because that was a number of years ago. But I was there that night with my good friend Kenny the Mailman and his son Jack, and we just had a good time at that time. But of course tomorrow night I know he's supposed to have a match with Aleister Black, and also you probably guys heard too the Jelly Roll is supposed to be involved tomorrow night too, and they're setting something up for him because I believe SummerSlam's like 3 weeks away, and I think he's supposed to be involved in that too. But I just thought I would call in and just share that with you guys. Y'all take care of it.
Hey, thank you, Eric. 615-737-1045 if you want to call in. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to bring it up because I don't know. It's, you know what they call do you know what kayfabe is? I know you're a wrestling fan, but I don't know if you're. So kayfabe is kind of like the behind the curtain peek.
Oh.
And he was let go shortly after
I knew
this
he was
match. And then he got brought back, and they think it's because of fan
pressure.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And I was just kind of like a little starstruck a little bit, to be honest with you. But he was such a genuine, down-to-earth guy. Like, it probably took me a little bit to, like, just calm down off the adrenaline, but, like, in the rush. But he was he's a unique presence. Like, I just have to put it that way, is that the way that he was excitingly telling his story and letting it all hang out there, how excited he is about this album and about the stories he's able to tell through it. I'm very... anxious to go through and listen to the singles that he's already got, and I can't wait for the finished product as well. So, again, he's going to be at the corner of Wedgwood tonight or this afternoon.
4 to 6.
4 to 6 p.m. So everybody that is able to go should go there and listen to him. And there's probably a meet and greet. I don't know. But let's go to Josh, who wants to talk about the truth. Josh, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
First-time caller to your show, semi-regular on 104.5 The Zone. I actually tried to call in during your interview, but obviously y'all weren't taking callers at that moment. However, Ron Killings has been an inspiration to me as well, because I too remember his K-Quake days. And in fact, that's what got me into rap in the first place. And I even borrowed from his nickname and went as J-Quick. I still have that today.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I will hang up and listen, kind sir.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no problem. There's a lot. The reason why we didn't answer any phones is because there was a lot going on with Jackson back there. He had to get the music ready. He had to get the camera situated and all that. So it was kind of like a little bit of chaos for Jackson back there. And he handled it masterfully.
Great job.
So there you go.
Appreciate it. I was also starstruck.
Ross said he did the majority of the work, though. Yeah.
Ross said that?
I'm just kidding. He hadn't done anything.
Well, Ross, listen, Ross, you were out of
what happened with the game?
He didn't show up again.
No show Ross. Blaine, you remember George Jones, No Show Jones? They used to call him that. We got No Show Johnston over here.
No way. I refuse to believe Mr. Ross with the deep voice didn't show up.
I cannot give the reason on air as to why I didn't show up, but it was a good reason. I can promise you that.
Oh. So when is the rematch? I mean, when we're going to have a...
We got to play it
schedule.
We're looking for tonight.
after football and other F words.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. We got a little promotion for football and other F words off their game.
Free promo
There you
there
go.
for you guys.
Are you guys actually going to play?
I will be ready at the controller. If Ross is not again, my team.
Three strikes, you're out. I mean, that counts as a loss, in my opinion.
Is Ross afraid that this is going to ruin your friendship and your Jackson, your mentorship to him?
If I'm Ross's mentor, we got a lot of other problems. I should not be allowed to mentor anyone.
But I mean, 3 strikes, you're out. Ross, that's an L for you if you do not play tonight.
It's a saying you often say, crap or get off the pot.
Yeah. I mean, gotta get real.
Oh, man, I don't know. I'm trying to figure. I'm still stumped. I don't know who's really ducking who here.
I mean, I know for a fact. Listen,
At first it was Jackson, and then now it's Ross. Yeah. I think both of them don't want to be part of this loss.
I will say the last 2 times have been Ross, and I will share off air with you what those things were. And they were big reasons. I'll just put it that way.
Well,
very big reasons.
Oh my!
Gotta be careful because there are people that may be listening that know Ross, but 2 very big reasons of why he's not why he's ducking Jackson. Let's get back to it's hard to transition.
The truth.
Yeah, we got the truth with the WWE NFL scandal going on right now.
And by the way, I think
that's
the
a hard
truth.
one to transition
I think
to.
the truth could actually play. Man, after hearing you say all this stuff about him and then seeing him. Man, but what position you think he would have played in DB? I mean,
DB. Yeah.
You don't think he would have been a wide receiver?
I think he's more. He could be a slot wide receiver.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd put him on the outsides, but I'd say slot wide receiver. I'd put defensive back. I think he would be a really good safety. He's got good instincts.
Oh, okay.
The Cortland Finnegan kind of archetype. He's going to get in your head.
Yeah.
Oh, he's that guy. Yeah, he talks a lot of smack, huh?
Yeah, he would be a good smack talker, but I think like a DB, like a safety specifically, just because I think he would have good ball hawking instincts. I think he could get at least a 7 interception season out of him.
No, dang, man.
Yeah,
man. His longevity, man, he would have been forever. Seven interceptions.
I mean, 53 years old. Yeah, that looks pretty good for 53 years old. I mean,
he did look pretty ripped up. I ain't gonna lie. He was ripped up. I wouldn't be messing with him.
No, not at all.
But Ross, on the other hand,
Ross can't even mess with Jackson. He ain't gonna mess with him.
He said that's video game, but in real, he said he's buffed.
Ross played wide receiver. I don't know if you knew this or not.
When I first I saw Ross, I said, "Did you play linebacker?"
Just
he's got some, little broad shoulder action going on there, man. I didn't think wide receiver.
Ross, are you gym strong or are you country strong, as your voice would suggest?
I think now I'm just dad bod strong.
You're dad bod strong? I'm just dad bod.
Yeah. That typically hits you around I don't know if you guys have reached that age where you got, I call it grown man strength.
How old are you, Ross?
22.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you have a dad bod at 22?
I don't think. I don't think
that's legit. I don't think that's legal.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a tough one there, man.
Yeah, I definitely don't think you could do that one. Just real quick, just to wrap this up.
Yeah, with the case, we transition slowly but surely.
So you know that the union. According to this article, the union paid him $3.4 million last year, Lloyd Howe, who has pretty much betrayed him at this point. $3.4 million.
Somebody can pay me that much to be the betrayer.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how much I was making a season when I played. Man.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of crazy. But the last thing, the latest at least, the latest
his body.
twist and turn to this story. The latest twist and turn to this story is that there is now a change.org petition calling for the resignation of Lloyd Howe as NFLPA executive director, and it's now been circulating among current and former NFLPA staff and current and former NFL players. Now, I don't know how many signatures are on it so far. Let's see. Let's pull it up here real quick. there are now 22 verified signatures, so not a lot of signatures on it right now. But is to remove him as NFLPA executive director. And they're talking about they provide evidence of incompetence and misconduct in this petition thing. They bring up the financial misconduct at Booz Allen Hamilton, which we were talking about earlier. We talked about a couple weeks ago. They talk about the secretive and corrupt hiring process, the Panini decision that just went down with the trading card company. So in one of his first major decisions, Hal attempted to terminate the NFLPA contract with the trading company, card company Panini, to benefit Fanatics. This decision backfired when arbitrators ruled unanimously that termination was invalid. So that they had to pay over $7 million out of the NFLPA fund to Panini for damages.
The lawyers win, right?
Yeah. I mean, like the hidden collusion ruling, the conflict of interest with Carlyle Group. I mean, just kind of crazy everything that has happened here. And the only reason I'm bringing this to light is because right now this is pretty big news that you could see ramifications of, and the CBA negotiations are just a few years away. So it's really closer than you may think. And this is pretty big. And this also falls back onto J.C. Treader for the hiring process as well. I mean, you could see both these guys ousted from their positions at the NFLPA over this. Whew.
Well, if they keep it under wraps, which nobody's going to be able to see what's going on, do you still think that possibility could still exist, or that some of that information may get leaked?
I think
to keep it under wraps? I mean,
yeah. I mean, they've leaked a lot of the information about keeping it under wraps. I mean, I think right now, I don't know if the players have anything to stand on, because the NFLPA time over time has proven to not have a lot of power. And it's not like because like we kind of talked about, players striking into the regular season, I don't think will ever happen in the NFL. Now, again, I think to your point and to many people's point, I've heard many people talk about this. You were the first one, though. You said the day we start talking about this, quarterbacks, high-profile quarterbacks would have to lead the charge and make big sacrifices to get anything done. And I have to say, I'm not necessarily sure I blame them, because they're getting paid a lot of money.
Right.
But I would be hard pressed to figure out that there's going to be someone that does that. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to have to do it.
He's never going to do it. No,
they're never.
Eventually, like Tom Brady got involved in one of them, and that really kind of propelled. And I thought other guys would follow, but a lot of it was because he was a late rounder. Even though he was making that kind of money, he still had that as his foundation and never lost who he really was, and helping the other guys. The guys who were kind of the worker bees of the NFL as players. So. Yep. I knew he would, but I thought it'd be some more maybe kind of he would bring with him, but they never did.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about these top 10 lists that are going out and why Titans fans need to quit worrying about if your player is on there or not. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Man, look like I've been putting in a lot of work. Well, lifting 5 days a week is not really something I want to do. Dialing up my nutrition, yeah, maybe. All righty, well, so there's a little extra around the middle. And I don't have time to go to the gym every freaking day. But I'm still trying to do something, but nothing extreme. That's why I checked out M-Sculpt Neo at Edge Peptide Therapy. It tones muscle and melts fat, no needles, no downtime. M-Sculpt Neo is the most advanced body sculpting technology available, merging fat reduction with muscle building in one effortless session. No surgery, no downtime, just the results that speak for themselves. M-Sculpt Neo is your secret weapon, building muscle, burning fat faster than traditional workouts alone. It's like doing at least 500,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes. Yeah, man, I think Mr. Truth, R-Truth, could do that too as well, but he's burning a lot of sweat. But you can burn a lot of sweat with M-Sculpt Neo, Edge Peptide Therapy. And all you got to do is just give them a call. 615-724-1878. That's 724-1878.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. And Blaine, the going on right now is obviously the NFL Network is doing their top 100 list as voted by the players, top 100 NFL players. The ESPN is doing, I think it's Jeremy Fowler polled, certain coaches, execs, and all that for the top 10 players at every position. We saw Jeffrey Simmons at 4. We talked about that last week. Tony Pollard didn't even get a vote or honorable mention, which I thought was a little weird, but that's okay. Amani Hooker today was safeties. Amani Hooker, no vote, no honorable mentions. And a lot of people are a little surprised that these players are not getting at least one vote or one little mention and all this stuff. I am more surprised by Tony Pollard than I am Amani Hooker, but I would say this. You're a 3-14 team. I don't know if anybody should be getting rewarded or for any of that. Let me start.
This is the top 100, right?
Yeah, well, this is the top 10. I'm talking about it specifically. I don't know if Titans have so far, because they release it like every 10 players or something. The Titans so far have not had a top 100 player listed.
Yeah, I made the top 50 about 3 or 4 times.
Now, let me ask you this. I definitely believe that. But let me ask.
Any of those other guys for the Titans ever done that? I'm talking about, watch this, they play safety.
No. I don't know how high Kevin Byard has been.
Okay.
Maybe Kevin Byard. I guess I never paid attention during when Michael Griffin was playing, but I don't know if he ever got it.
He never got it. I know he did.
I'm not sure if Kevin Byard. We'll have to figure out what the highest ranking Kevin Byard's gotten.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Kevin Byard's been 34?
No, so he beat me.
Did he beat you? What were you?
44.
44. So he's been the highest he's been. But how many times has he been?
I was top 50.
Yeah, but how many times has he been in the top 50?
I was
because you said you were in it 2 or 3 times.
I think, I definitely was in there.
I'm not surprised. The question I have, though, as a player, do you care if you're listed on these, specifically the one? I figured maybe by the players you may care a little bit more, but how do you view as a player if the NFL executives, coaches, coordinators voting on these, and if you weren't to get on the list, or how much would you actually care?
Man, that's kind of a tough one. And the reason why I say that is there's so much more social media that people are aware that you were or weren't involved in it. So then that kind of increases the level of, oh man, I got screwed, or oh man, that's probably about right, or oh, they should have got such a, somebody's always going to get, like the Pro Bowl, somebody's always going to get, screwed over. And it's always 2 or 3 players at each position. You just like, well, he could have made it. There could have been an argument. For me, I would use, I used to use the term smoke. I know I'm old school, but any little smoke that I could just keep stacking up on my shoulder every little time I did it. So if I wouldn't have been where I thought I would, or I saw players on there that I didn't think probably were better than me, that was just fuel to the fire. That's all that was. I'm not easily offended. So you're in sports, so you got to take the good with the bad, and that's just how it goes. The people who are very sensitive, a lot in this generation, that's why they're not as good as they should be. That's why they care about what other people are saying. I could give a rat's butt about what people are saying, but guess what? I'm going to use that to show them that they got it wrong, and they're going to get it right next year. That's kind of how that mindset that I had as a player back then. Whether
you're not letting it really affect you.
Right.
Well, you're not dwelling on it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you're like, okay, it's up here.
But watch this.
It's ammo.
But I'm cutting it out that paper. Now it's on social media. I'm putting it on my mirror, and I look at it every day.
Yeah.
They said this about me. Right here. Oh, my bad. They didn't say this about me.
Did you listen to sports radio?
No.
I wondered if because I don't think I would if I was an athlete. It'd be hard, I guess, to probably avoid it now. But
that was, I mean, when I say at the end, it was my year 7.
Yeah.
So I started listening to it more and more because I was wondering where some people were getting information from. I was like, but that's not true. That's not what happened out there. I don't know where they got this from.
Yeah, because so the latest today was obviously the safeties. And obviously, it's free safeties and strong safeties. Mm-hmm. Every team, that's 64 starting safeties, if you think about it. And Amani Hooker didn't get a vote. Well, I mean, again, I don't know. I mean, how do you feel like I'm kind of, you know me, I'm a big Amani Hooker guy, and he didn't even get any kind of consideration or vote.
I think I'd be a little perturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, he should be.
No, I'm talking about him. Yeah, I'm talking about. That's who you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, do you think that he should have gotten at least a vote?
I do.
Okay.
I do. You talking about top 64?
Well, it's top 10. It's top 10 safeties, but there's 64 safeties is what I'm trying to say. So, like, that's really hard to crack the top 10. Because I'm not
first of all, let's go through who's ahead of them.
Okay. I'll pull that up here.
Because then that will dictate. I mean, and you just got to be honest with yourself. I mean, he could be, top. It's 32 teams. He could be in the middle. He really could.
Kyle Hamilton, number 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you go Brian Branch, number 2.
Yep.
Number 3 is Xavier McKinney.
Yep.
Number 4 is Jesse Bates.
Yep.
Number 5 is Kirby Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is Derwin James. Derwin James is an interesting one for me just because it never feels like he can stay healthy, but when he's healthy, he's great.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Antoine Winfield, number 7.
Yep.
Buda Baker, number 8.
Yep.
Minka Fitzpatrick, number 9. Julian Love, number 10. And then, of course, Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Trevon Morig, Kalen Bullock. Got a little bit of votes here. Justin Reed, Jalen Petrie, Kyle Duggar, Tilana Hafunga, Harrison Smith, Grant Delpit, and Quentin Lake of the Los Angeles Rams. Probably the only truly unrecognizable name out of that list. They all also got votes.
I would be a little perturbed with that if I'm him.
Gotcha.
Like those ending guys there, they were outside of the top 10. So with hearing the list, I don't think I would. If I was him, I don't think I'd have an issue.
Yeah. Nah. I don't know how many votes they get to,
and the team has success.
Yeah.
I think then he could be really close.
I think if you were talking about an 8-win Titans team, I think you're talking about a guy, Amani Hooker probably would have got recognition. And I don't know if that's necessarily fair because, I mean, again, Tony Pollard was a pretty good running back last year. His third straight season over 1,000 yards, and he had 55 targets for the third straight season. And he wasn't in the greatest situation. He didn't get votes either. Jeffrey Simmons got all the way up to 4. And I just wonder if running back's more of a young man's game because there's a lot of guys on here that were a little bit younger, a little bit less proven. And I also wonder if for the safety thing, if it's just a bevy of safeties at that position. And so it's kind of hard to crack that top 10.
Well, I would say it's
but
like
I think
that
he should at least
too.
got a vote.
Yeah. I mean, he could. Yeah. But I wouldn't be bent out of shape. If I'm Tony Pollard, I wouldn't be bent out of shape either.
But you'd be using that as fuel, though, for sure. Every time I'm plowing through a linebacker or I'm going to tackle a receiver tight end.
No doubt. Yeah. No doubt. I'm watching, reading what people think. That's their own opinion. But I get to dictate and tell the story.
Yeah.
I do. So you don't. Yeah. So, as long as I get respect from my teammates and, the guys in the league, I think that's what matters.
Well, when we come back, we'll talk about the Tennessee Titans some more. We'll talk about, do we think that there is going to be a Tennessee Titan that makes the top 100 list? This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop, Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone.
They better.
It is 2 o'clock on the dot. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Nashville Soccer Club extended its unbeaten streak to 15 with a 5-2 win over DC United in the U.S. Open Cup semifinals. Nashville fell behind 2-0 in the first half, but rallied back with 5 unanswered goals to move on to the semifinal round, which will be played in September. In the NBA, the Phoenix Suns and star guard Devin Booker agreed to terms on a 2-year, $145 million extension that keeps him with the Suns through the 2029-2030 NBA season. This is the highest annual extension salary in NBA history. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here at 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We've been talking about these top 10 lists and everything, and talking about, your placement on them sometimes may be incorrect. I mean, because you're not on there or anything, can be incorrect. I mean, these are people's opinions,
of course,
and they probably don't watch all 32 teams, all 32 games.
Some of it's reputation.
Yeah, reputation driven. Some of it's like, they're in my division.
So, yeah.
Or we played this guy last year and he wrecked the game.
Uh-huh.
And, the thing is that, to me, we were talking about using it as motivation. And there's a difference between being bothered by it and using it as motivation.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to convey.
Yeah, and I think you did a good job. And we were talking about it also off air. It was like, obviously you didn't do enough to be considered. Now, you may not feel that way, but you have another season ahead of you to change their mind.
Right. Yep.
That should be the way that I would approach. Is like, okay, well, you don't think I even deserve a vote? I'm going to change that mind. When I play, every game I play, every hit's going to be a little bit harder or come a little bit faster. Every time that I make a juke or do a stiff arm, it's going to hit that defender a little bit harder. That's how I would be looking at the placement on this list. And I don't know if this generation is built like that anymore. I think some are. I think there are your elite of the elite, your best athletes. They know how to handle something like this and how to handle that kind of motivation. But I think we're such a generation now that is just so online all the time.
And you would think that would help them handle everything because you're always getting critique as being an athlete anyway. About your performance. So I just think got to build the other side of this, because you can see such exceptional athletes, and the ones that become really good players are the ones that are mentally tough. Yeah. And that can go down many different angles when you're talking about mentally tough, whether it's to, control your emotions, it's to deal with adversity, or deal with someone saying something negative about you that is not true. So why are you even going to address it? Because if it's not true, then you don't need to speak on it.
Right.
To be honest, then I wouldn't even respond. So some guys respond. Like, to me, these are the things, as good as Kevin Durant is, he shouldn't be responding to this stuff.
Talk about a guy that's notorious.
He shouldn't be responding to this stuff.
Now, for me, he's endless entertainment. But I do agree with you.
No, I agree with you.
I do agree with you that he shouldn't be online as much as he is.
You can't be responding to, the guy who's sitting there playing his video game saying you suck. Come on, man. He's just a fan. So let's move on.
Yeah.
So and I get it. I understand it is tough for some guys, especially when someone says something is not true. And I think that's how what made you successful as an athlete can also doom you as a professional on the level of media.
Yeah.
It can, because there's a part where you got to understand where the athlete is coming from, and you have to understand where the media perspective is coming from. And I think most guys aren't taught that. Luckily for me, I was in media at Ball State, so we the David Letterman Communication Building. So I understood that all the way around. Then I also understood how they had 10 guys line up, and everybody would go outside the room, and then you tell one story, and then the guy at the end of the line told a whole totally different story than what you told. So you can see how a story can change and evolve into something that had nothing to do with the first story. See,
yeah,
right?
we used to do that with the big telephone game.
Yeah,
is what we called it growing up.
That's nowhere near the initial story.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, it's about something else. So it's just kind of interesting that I just think they think it's like playing sports. You get told the truth, and if you can't stand up to the truth as an athlete, then you need to get better. They don't take that same mechanism can hurt them if you're trying to do with the media. It's just not. It's not built that way. It's totally different. Your competitive edge that made you a successful athlete can burn you in the media.
Yeah, yeah. It's just real interesting because you see, like you said, the Kevin Durant situation. I mean, you could take it to here where you see, players reply, Titans players will reply to a critique or a video or a radio comment or this and that. And that's their right. Don't get me wrong. We're not trying to say you can't, defend yourself. Right. But when you make a habit of it, I'm just like,
they're in your head. I mean,
your actions are what need to speak for you.
You agree, Jackson?
I think there's definitely some players who are chronically online. But Kevin Durant, I really do. I'm with Zach. It's so enjoyable.
I brought it up. I'm saying, what's wrong with the dude that stopped this madness?
Yeah.
I
mean, definitely someone should take the phone
MJ,
away.
You guys, LeBron. So what is your opinion of LeBron? Like MJ says, everybody buys Air Jordans. So he's not going to say anything controversial on either side of that. So what is LeBron?
Yeah, what was Jordan's line? Conservatives buy sneakers too, or something like that.
Yeah. Everybody buys sneakers.
Yeah. LeBron, I think he's not chronically online. He just talks a little too much,
on the
podcast, and then his podcast partner becomes his head coach, and I that aspect of his career is just not something I enjoy. I just enjoy watching him play basketball.
Well, he's learning Spanish right now. He's going to go do a Bad Bunny. I just saw it today.
Jackson?
No, not Jackson. LeBron James. He's learning Spanish right now to go be in a Bad Bunny music video.
Oh,
is the rumor circulating right now? So there you go.
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
Estoy bien.
Yeah.
Muy bueno.
I do. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Y'all don't want me in anything involving Spanish. Took me 3 years to get through 1 year.
I can read Spanish better than I can speak Spanish.
Oh.
Well, which is really weird. I'm more of a reader. Like when we're watching these Amazing Race and stuff like that, and you have to read the clues in a certain language. For whatever reason, I can kind of figure out, this is what they're saying. This is where they need to go. Even in and I've never taken French or anything like that. It just happens to be everything kind of overlaps to a certain extent. And if you figure out the pattern, you can kind of figure out what is written down.
I think you two would be a dream team on The Amazing Race.
We should do it. Let's apply for The Amazing Race. Yeah.
I only know Spanish because my wife is that was a minor. We used to watch TV in Spanish. So her her middle name is Cortez, but she used to work overseas and was a translator.
There you go.
Yeah,
so you got a leg up. We could use that.
Yeah. Vamos a la playa is I am going to the beach next week.
Yeah.
That's what Vamos a la playa is, going to the beach.
See, I know playa is the beach, so I know that one.
I did not. Yeah. I told y'all 3 years to go through 1 year of Spanish in high school.
Yeah. See, I knew that one. Just real quick.
Then we double saying no big bad words and, something. Ross.
Ross, what's your name in Spanish? Do you know?
I can't roll my R's, but I think it's Ross.
It's just Ross?
Yeah.
I'm not good at rolling
I can't roll the R's either.
Oh, man, my wife
cannot roll the R's either.
I can't do it.
Okay, so just real quick. We
doing a survey?
Well, the top 100 players.
Oh.
I don't really get up in arms whether Tennessee Titans are on it or not. I know there's lots of people who you get pissed.
No, it just tells me that we suck.
Well, I mean, I think we know. And that's kind of my point. So let me ask you this.
Jeffrey Simmons is not in the top 100, man. We are really screwed.
Well, Leonard Williams is 99.
Oh!
Quinnen Williams is 87. And then Zach Allen, who was, I believe, one of the best defensive linemen last year for the Broncos, and I was telling you about him.
You did.
He's 90. So 3 defensive linemen right there that could arguably be said that they had better seasons than Jeffrey Simmons last year. And Jeffrey Simmons is probably your best chance. Maybe Calvin Ridley.
I think he's cooked.
You think he's cooked? You don't think he's making it?
With those 3 I don't think he's in front of those 3.
See, that's the thing.
God, because it's a year by year, so it's based off last season.
Right.
I would have put him in the 90s, and now that we're out of the 90s, I'm thinking that's probably
because we're at 86 and some change. We're at 87 so far. Now 87 players, but number 87 because they go backwards.
But I think he's gonna make it.
I would think so, but I will say 5.5 sacks, 9 quarterback hits. I don't know if players keep up with those stats.
He was 73 last year.
He was 73 last year.
Okay.
And this was probably a worse season this year.
I'm keeping out hope.
We're in the Jeffrey Simmons zone, I would say.
Yeah.
So how many, because I just think it's a fun discussion, not necessarily a meaningful one, but like a fun one. How many players do you think the Tennessee Titans will actually have? Jeffrey Simmons and nobody else in the top 100? Because Pollard, Ridley.
No.
Oof.
I think Pollard is probably your best bet.
You think Pollard's a better bet than Ridley? I feel like Calvin Ridley could probably get in off name recognition more than anything. Because Tony Pollard's only been in there once. And so I feel like Calvin Ridley's probably been there at least 2 or 3 times. So I think maybe Calvin Ridley could sneak in. But I think I think Jeffrey Simmons is your best bet.
How many receivers had 1,000 yards?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not necessarily actually too sure on that.
And why he thinks about that, this just made me think about this, and maybe we'll do it after the break, but I'll tell the question is, how many 4th-round pick receivers actually impacted their team? What percentage impacted their team in a big way over, let's say, the last 20 years? 4th round or later.
24 wide receivers had at least 1,000 yards.
That's what I said Calvin Ridley's not making. And he barely squeaked in, by the way. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, he's 21 out of 24. Okay. When you put him in order. Even Jameson Williams. I didn't even know Jameson Williams had 1,000 yards receiving last year.
Do you know how fast Jameson Williams is?
Oh, I know, but I mean, like, you tell me, but I didn't even realize that he had 1,000.
Oh, yeah, he's golf.
Yeah. I just was very surprised because he was also coming off an injury, if you remember.
Well,
so
I mean, didn't he torch the Titans too on a post or go route?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Jameson Williams. Yeah, they were scoring all kinds of long touchdowns.
I think everybody scored. I think even Kevin Zeitler scored.
I think Jared Goff had a rushing touchdown.
Yeah. And I do agree with Jim freaking Nance here. We were the worst team in the NFL last year, so be lucky to get one player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Jeffrey Simmons is the only guy.
Yeah. I'd say yes, and I would. Yeah, maybe Calvin Ridley's not getting in. Oh, there's 2 tight ends. There's 2 tight ends on this list. 3 tight ends. So he's that'd be 21 wide receivers, and he would be 19th. If that makes sense.
Oh,
because there's
you're talking about really in the list of receivers.
Yeah, the receivers.
Okay. Yeah,
just 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be viewed, even though he's their best. I don't.
If Jeffrey Simmons doesn't make it,
I'll be a little disappointed.
You'll be a little disappointed
because some of it is reputation, and they know guys are out there playing. If he was injured, that he still held his own. I mean, that carries some weight. I'm gonna give this as an example, and I think he was the greatest offensive lineman to ever play the game, and it's just my feeling because playing all positions as we get to see on the offensive line is really difficult to do. Bruce Matthews was the best offensive lineman I ever seen. Most athletic. He was catching punts. He would catch 10 balls on punts, like at a time. He'd catch 10 balls. I mean, it was pretty amazing. I couldn't even dream of catching 2 balls, and I'm a skilled guy.
14-time Pro Bowler,
right?
7-time All-Pro.
And he played all positions, center, guard, and tackle. I would say that he was the greatest and the hardest to ever do that, and he was in the top probably 30 every year, probably.
Yeah.
So he was viewed. Oh, here's what I was going to say. Even when he was just a good player, at the end of his career, he still was great because of the age and what he was doing.
Yep.
It was pretty phenomenal.
I mean, if you really just to go back, I got to pull it up.
When I say he was an average player, when I'm going to say then he's a Pro Bowl player, he wasn't way above everybody else. Now he came back to earth a little bit. He still was great. It was incredible.
Just to put this out there, just in case you guys may not know this, played 19 years in the NFL, and there's only 2 seasons out of those 19 seasons that he did not play a full 16-game slate. It was his rookie year where he only started the 15 games instead of 16. Back surgery. Mm-hmm. And then he had the injury in 1987 and only started 6 games. Everything else started 16 games every season.
I think
that is insane.
For a minute there, though, he had the record for most consecutive games played without missing a game.
We would have to.
And guess what? I don't think he missed from that point forward, and I don't think he had another major surgery until he was done playing. He slipped in his driveway and tore his ACL.
From 1988 to 2001, started 16 games every season. From 1988 to 2001.
Oh man, how many games that doesn't count playoffs?
And even that, and when he was 40 years old, he still made the Pro Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't that crazy?
He was still playing at a high level. That's unbelievable.
What do you got, Jackson? You said you had something.
So, have you guys, Chris Long's Greenlight Pod?
Oh, yeah.
Him and Ryan Clark went with their most feared players in the NFL, and both of them had Jeffrey Simmons.
Interesting. See? Interesting.
Yeah, it's because of his Kong strength.
You know, by the way, NFL games started.
Right now, this guy is a man-child. He's throwing grown men. It's almost like Albert Hainsworth, but a different version of it.
Yeah.
Like where Albert was like that for a couple seasons where he was just manhandling people and throwing them like rag dolls. He's like, dang, man, how you doing that to another grown man?
Yeah.
Right? Well, Jeffrey Simmons does it every game.
And they did say when they voted him in the top 4, put him in that top 4 of the top 10 defensive tackles, that probably the strongest guy in the NFL. Is what they think.
I wonder if he's still going to be that strong with the weight that he lost.
Well, maybe he just shifted it around. I don't know.
He shifted it to his
I know we got to go
behind.
to break, but just real quick. NFL games started career leaders. Goes Tom Brady with 333, Brett Favre with 298, Bruce Matthews 293.
Told you. That man was a bad man.
That won't be he'll be top 3 for a long, long time.
It was something in the genes because his brother Clay also was on the list with the Browns.
Yep. There you go. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Tennessee Titans in the NFL. And we actually got some fun questions about maybe some stadium talk and maybe international teams is covered too with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
There are a lot of diagnoses out there, and there's a pill for everything. But not all diagnoses are accurate, and not all pills are good for you. Hey, it's Blaine Bishop, and when you get a diagnosis for European auto repair, get a second opinion before you make a major decision. Eurofix is the home for second opinions. So before you spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on European vehicle repair from a diagnosis, go to Eurofix. It could not only save your vehicle's life, but could actually save you from a lot of stress that would ruin your entire weekend. And life's too short to get stressed out and angry. So be happy and go to Eurofix and get a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection with an estimate at every visit and not high-pressure sales tactics. You also get a 3-year nationwide warranty and a free loaner car with every repair appointment. And in Eurofix, you never pay dealer pricing. Family-owned for 26 years. Located all over the state, starting in Franklin, Hunted Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. But always don't blame you.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And Blaine, you posted up a few questions for us in our show chat, or when we discuss what we're going to try and talk about for the day. I thought were pretty interesting, and I guess I want to start with the open air stadiums because a lot of new stadiums are coming through. Now the Bills are doing an open air stadium, but apparently the Browns are going to dome theirs off. Oh. So I want to talk about original stadiums. Will Lambeau Field be the last of the original, like, hardcore stadiums that will remain an outdoor stadium? Now, they may do improvements and everything on it, but surely Lambeau Field, you'll never lose the magic of doing a new stadium. You just want to upgrade the existing stadium, right? Like, that to me feels like that would be the last one, like the last true, not truly modern stadium.
Yeah. When I was thinking of this question is exactly what I was thinking of with all these new stadiums. And I said, man, dang, half the stadiums now, I haven't even played in or even been to them. Yeah. And I go, man, most of them are all closed. And I said, well, I don't know if they'll ever close, knowing Buffalo, as you mentioned, close Green Bay's. And it's because of the history. And I could say Chicago too, but I think Chicago is trying to get a new stadium. And I don't know if they're going to enclose it. If I was them, if the city and the state is going to pay for it, you can have other events in there, a la the Titans, right?
Right.
So that would make a lot of sense. But in Green Bay, it's a little bit different. I think some of the actual fans are partial ownership. I don't understand how it all works. But I don't see them ever. They've expanded it, have grown it, and updated it. I just don't think that'll be. And the way it's situated too, right in the middle of a neighborhood. And
it looks already pretty.
I feel like Buffalo should close theirs because it's always bad weather there.
Yeah,
but they won't. They feel like that's part of throwing snowballs and all that. They want all of that racket. Green Bay is a little bit different. I want to say they will eventually, but that's really hard to say. Man, if you can find, because it's kind of in the middle of nothing. Like you have to stay in a hotel that's like an hour away.
Yeah,
I mean, so I feel like it won't. But boy, I sure think it's a smarter business play. I don't know how much they do other things in that stadium.
Well, yeah, and really how many people are wanting to go to Green Bay, too. Right. Like these other events and stuff.
That may feel like that's their edge in the game or environment, just like the Bills do.
Right. What you got, Jackson?
I think there's two. Those are the usual suspects. I think there's two that I don't think I see them going to enclosed stadiums anytime soon. I think it's Philadelphia, and I think it's Seattle with Lumen Field.
Philadelphia just got that stadium in. Well, they didn't just get it, probably in 2004, so it's not new. Yeah, but it's I don't.
And they probably have used and abused it. Those fans have. I bet they have that.
That's an interesting one. Yeah. I don't know because they also do have concerts and stuff in there. I remember Kevin Hart did a show there live in the stadium
at the Link.
Yes, and so that'll be interesting. You may be right. I don't know.
Well, and they did just recently Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia because it's in April. Did WrestleMania?
Yeah, so they do. Yeah, but they just think now if the weather got bad, they would have to cancel it and move it and change it. So sometimes, eventually, business helps you push you in the direction, even though you don't want to do it. I would say they would hang on to it though, for sure. That's a good one.
I think Philadelphia is a good one. Who was the other one you said?
Lumen Field in Seattle. The 12th man, the way that's built, the way it's designed for that home field
But let
advantage.
me say this. Let me say this about the Seattle one. The reason why I may disagree with you is just for this reason, is because of the technology aspect and the people that would probably be involved in designing a new stadium would still be able to replicate everything you're talking about. As far as not maybe an outdoor stadium, but as far as the sound, I think that they would be able to duplicate that 12th. You wouldn't lose the 12th man, I think, there.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I've been to Buffalo Ralph Wilson Stadium. Blaine, back in, it may have been about like 2011 or something. I don't know. And we packed for this cold weather. It was late November, early December game. And Chris Johnson was still playing on the team. That's about the only player I truly remember being there. And we packed. We never, when we go on these trips, we never do carry on luggage or checked luggage, but we did for this trip because we were packing all of our big coats, hand warmers, all the vests and socks and boots and all this stuff. Ended up being like 55, 60 degrees that day. So we packed all that stuff for nothing. And then there was a trough. They have trough urinals, which I think should be outlawed everywhere.
Oh, hey, let's not do that.
Yeah, trough urinals, never trough urinals.
What's trough urinal?
Oh, where everybody pees in the same big
it's
long
just lined
thing.
up as big.
Yeah.
That's kind of a trough.
Not individual urinals, but it's like a pig trough.
You have not lived.
Jackson goes standing in the corner and turns his back.
Now, he probably goes right in the middle.
No, that's Ross.
The Neyland Stadium troughs are an icon.
No.
Yes.
I mean, get those things out of here.
Yes, there was online outrage because there was a rumor out there that they had taken them away. And they put out a statement saying that they were here to stay.
Ridiculous.
Do you like them or do you want them to change them?
I have no opinion on them because they're just urinals at the end of the day. If I have to use them, I'll use them. But I like the aesthetic.
At that same Bills game, Blaine, after we left, come to find out, there was a big news story that broke after we left that a teacher and a principal were caught having sexual relations. I don't know what I can say or not say in the bathroom stall, the men's bathroom stall. Which I've been in those men's bathrooms. They are not clean.
Where is this at?
At the Buffalo Bills Stadium, Ralph Wilson Stadium.
Oh, I think that became public. That was a big old deal.
Yeah, it was a big old deal. That's what I'm saying. That was that game.
I thought you were talking about Neyland.
Yeah, that was
That's definitely happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. That was the first. That was the Titans game. That happened at that Titans game.
That's why I remember. Yeah. Oh, that was hilarious. Though.
Yeah. I mean, and also Buffalo has to be one of the worst cities in America, by the way. I literally saw a tumbleweed go across their downtown because no one was out on downtown. No downtown night scene. Buffalo, get bent.
I've also heard the wings are overrated.
Terribly overrated. Yeah, there are better wings.
They're known
elsewhere.
for wings, right?
Yeah. They're known for wings. We went to I can't remember the place that's known for wings or like that supposedly invented the buffalo wing or whatever.
They invented, that's why it's Buffalo Bills, right?
Yeah. I think that must have been where it was. We went there, we're like, these wings are all right. You can get these anywhere.
Just don't hate on them too hard. We had a caller call in once. It might have been this show, it might have been another one, where he dropped a fierce F-bomb defending Buffalo wings.
Oh, yeah, they're fans.
Well, I mean, I love hot wings, but I mean, nowadays everybody can make a hot wing.
I didn't know the Buffalo started the Buffalo wings. I had no idea until I heard I had to go start Googling.
There you go.
Yeah, but I do believe Seattle will get it. I played in their outdoor. It is very loud, and the 12th man is a major factor. I just think because of West Coast and how much rain they get, that may lead you to indoor because they're known for the needle, the point.
Yeah.
And I think then they'll make their stadium kind of fit because it's kind of unique. And when you go around the freeways, it's kind of right there in the center of it all. It's really cool. And I bet you they would probably tear that one down and try to build one right there.
What about Cleveland?
Well, Cleveland is doing it. They're going.
Oh, they're going indoor.
Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Yes, I think that's the big thing. That I thought that's what initiated this topic in your mind. Was that Buffalo? That Cleveland is working on putting in a dome, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they try to probably sell it to the state to make sure it has them included.
The Cleveland Browns are planning to build a new enclosed dome stadium in Brook Park, a suburb of Cleveland.
I feel like the AFC North, all of them, most of them
Heinz
are
Field would be a good one to put into our discussion.
Steelers,
that I don't know
Ravens,
if they would move out of that area. Because let me say something.
It's right off that water.
That Pittsburgh Steelers stadium situation they got going on is first off, it's a top 10 NFL city from the ones I visited in. Seattle's also up there as well. But I will say that what they have, because I know you've been, Blaine, obviously, but I don't know if Jackson, if you've ever been to Pittsburgh for a baseball game or a football game.
Nope.
But their baseball stadium and football stadium is right there. They have public trams that make their stop every time at that stadium. And they have all kinds of shopping centers and restaurants. Jerome Bettis has a place over there. Speaking of urinals, their urinal it's a two-way glass. You can look out into the restaurant from the urinal at Jerome Bettis's place. Yeah, Heinz Ward has a bar out there. We've been there. Super nice people.
So it's a glass window.
Yeah, so it's a two-way glass, like an interrogation glass.
Oh, I love that's the first thought.
Yeah, so we can the peer can see into the restaurant but they can't see into you.
I wouldn't like that.
I don't know. This is kind of fun.
I don't want to watch people eat while I pee.
Well, I mean, is what it is. They're not seeing you while you pee. What is that? It doesn't mean anything.
If I worked there, I would mess with people. I would look into the two-way glass and being like, I see you.
All right, let's go to Tommy, who wants to talk about the stadiums. Tommy, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Thanks. This is getting a little bit in depth, but I played college football and I had the smallest hands. I've never met a man that's got smaller hands than me. And I could throw it around in nice weather, but when it got bad, rain and snow, things like that, I had big time problems. And
you didn't wear no gloves?
It didn't matter.
We lost Tommy.
He went in a bad area. Wait.
Oh, no, you're back, Tommy. You there?
Wait.
Okay.
With these new close stadium, the quarterback play will get better. You look at Kenny Pickett, and they talk about how small his hands are. I wonder if he was down in Miami instead of Pittsburgh and Cleveland, he'd probably be a lot better quarterback. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
I don't know. Maybe there's a point there with Tommy. Maybe they're doing this for the future of the game, future of the small-handed quarterbacks.
What about Tampa Bay?
Ooh.
The pirate ship.
We didn't even think about hot weather stadiums. We really just leaned kind of towards the north.
Yeah. Jacksonville is just redoing their stadium to where it's not going to be a dome, is it?
Man, could you imagine a dome and then also having the pool? It smelled like chlorine in there all the time.
Just like the Y pool from when you were a kid.
Yeah, it'd be like the YMCA pool when you walk in there. Just all that humidity trapped in there, too.
Oh, my.
All those weird Jacksonville fans.
They may take care of it a little bit better because it's indoors.
Maybe.
You never know.
I'm very excited to really see the finished product of the Tennessee Titans situation. Because they just put out a tweet, I think it was them, or I got an email, and it was talking about the stuff you could rent out and host business meetings and stuff like that. Yeah. And man, everything just looks super nice and cool. I hope it actually looks like the pictures are promised and stuff.
Do you think the Nashville is going to get a light rail?
They need one. And let me tell you something. Nashville needs some kind of better public transportation.
I hear a little birdie saying that we have underground. And Mr. Musk is going to make an underground railroad here.
Well, funny to say that. They may be trying it out in Thompson Station. So my parents' neighborhood or a couple of neighborhoods is apparently getting connected to a restaurant area. You know where Mojo's Tacos is at, our sponsor here. But there's apparently going to be an underground delivery service for people that want to ride their golf carts or bikes underneath the roads that get you there to Mojo's Tacos from their neighborhood, which is pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it's just like the light rail.
Yeah. Let's go to just like it. Let's go to Ernie, who wants to talk about Buffalo. Ernie, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
I heard that Buffalo is building a new stadium, but they don't want a roof on it because outdoor is their advantage.
Yep, that's what they said.
Yep, that is for sure. I mean, I'm with you.
They just want to throw snowballs and stuff. Yeah. They just want to act like they want to throw it at the fan. I mean, the
here's the thing:
players.
It will not have a dome, but its canopy is going to cover the majority of the fans. So you still get the cold air, but there's apparently the way it's going to be built is that the majority of the fans that go to the game are going to be covered.
All right, here's the question, Jackson and guys. Should they still get a Super Bowl? New stadium.
You can't risk it.
Buffalo in February, please.
No, you can't risk it, right? No. This is why I'm a big retractable roof guy.
But here's the thing. I don't know. The NFL is going to have to make a huge decision.
Even if they had a dome, who wants to go to Buffalo in February?
It's a terrible city. It's a terrible city no matter what day you go.
I mean, Canada's only like an hour and a half.
That's true.
And
Niagara
we're playing
Falls
American
just
football.
right there.
Yeah. Do you think the NFL's going to give a Super Bowl?
They shouldn't. That would be the biggest risk you could take. That's gambling. No, I don't think so.
You don't
right?
I don't know. Every
February.
city. Detroit had one. I know it was indoor, but Detroit got one.
Yeah, Dome. See, I mean, that's the thing is like, New Orleans will get one. Tennessee will get one because of Dome.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, that to me, this feels like there's a lot of investment going into it, apparently, right? I mean, isn't it like really it's more expensive than Tennessee Titans one?
The NFL put half the money up, I think.
And I'm looking at it and I'm going, why not do a retractable roof? You get the best of everything and you get to use it. The events you'll be able to have in Buffalo in the winter, no matter what the weather is like, will pay for that retractable roof.
Much like sense, man. We got some ding-dongs down there in Buffalo.
Got some, that's why their city's crap. All right, when we come back, I do want to get Blaine's opinion on whether he prefers playing in dome or in outdoor. I want to get the player's perspective on that. We'll also talk about international teams. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone.
Hey, folks, I've been talking about Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance for years because they're leading experts in sports medicine and performance and the team physician for the NFL, college, and high school athletics across Tennessee. And TOA provides sports medicine coverage to more high school and college sports teams than any orthopedic group in the state of Tennessee. They have 29 locations throughout the state or over 100 physicians throughout Middle and East Tennessee to take care of all your musculoskeletal needs. And TOA has 11 urgent care locations with walk-in availability 7 days a week. They offer direct access to sports medicine and performance, physical therapy and nutrition, personalized rehabilitation plans to enhance mobility, reduce pain, and improve overall physical function for patients recovering from injuries or surgeries. And TOA also offers sports performance training, a specialized program designed to enhance athletic performance and provide tailored training solutions for athletes at all levels. So please check out their services at TOA.com. Yes, that's TOA.com for more information.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We've been talking about how bad of a city Buffalo is, and Harmon Adams has come into the F&M Bank chat on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live. It says, Buffalo is a great city. Bills Mafia will not be happy with me. That being said, Buffalo doesn't have enough hotel rooms for a Super Bowl, and they already knew that going into this thing. So that's why an open-air stadium is okay. So there you go.
So they're not going to have a Super Bowl.
They're not going to have a Super Bowl.
Good.
I always forget to factor in the hotel rooms. And
But they can always build some hotels.
But they got to have people, that want to go to Buffalo, too.
They also have to have nice hotels, like the Embassy Suites over in, off the Buffalo Highway.
They probably got like a bunch of motels.
So
up in Buffalo.
They can just drive to Canada, man. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. I guess you can't count Canadian hotels. It has to be in a certain mile radius, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying for
Also, Lucas has weighed in on the Buffalo wings. He says, I went to Bar Bill, and they were rubbery and overrated as crap. There you go. So and Lucas knows his food. That man eats
he loves to eat.
The time.
I want him to elaborate rubbery.
Yeah. Well, that probably means they just weren't crispy enough. See, I always order mine. Here's the thing. Here's a pro tip for you wing eaters. Extra crispy and extra wet. No matter where I go, get them extra crispy, extra wet. That's how you got to do it. Get that extra sauce and all that kind of stuff and all that. All right. Player perspective, though. Do you prefer playing outdoors? Like, is that a big deal to you? I know turf is a totally separate discussion, but as far as dome, retractable roof, or whatever, do you as a player have a preference?
Whenever you're a defensive back, naturally, climate affects the game, and when you're indoors, you don't have to worry about slipping or the surfacing being a little different. So I would probably say I prefer indoors.
Really?
Yeah,
that's interesting because I would think I personally would.
Now, if you ask me turf, I would say I prefer grass.
Yeah.
See, but how many grasses are inside? Well, now all the stadiums pretty much are inside. Really, Chicago, Green Bay. I mean, you can count them on one hand now.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you got to embrace. Playing on turf. I mean, there's just no way around it. But I love playing on grass, but I always felt like I was faster on the turf.
Yeah.
And maybe they felt fast, but as long as I believe I was fast, that's all that mattered.
Now, you played in both, obviously, many stadiums, but you have been part of the Philadelphia Eagles outside stadium, Tennessee Titans outside stadium, drastically different climates.
Yeah.
So what was the adjustment like for you going to Philadelphia where it
was turf on outside? I like grass outside. I didn't like turf outside.
So it's turf outside over there?
No, it was. I call it Veteran Stadium.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, where's the jail cell underneath?
Gotcha. Well, that's the rumor. If Tennessee were to ever get a baseball team, the rumor is that they would eye where the closed down Nashville prison is at, and that's where they were going to put it. Which seems to me like you're playing with fire, because that could be a lot of haunted souls there. You better go for an exorcism and sage and all that kind of stuff, because that feels like you're just asking for trouble.
I don't know. What team do you think we'll get?
I don't think they're going to get one. I mean, that's your best chance is the White Sox, because the owner that just bought it really loves Nashville and all this kind of stuff. But he's not buying it till 2029. And then here's the thing, because a lot of people want to call it the Nashville Stars. Well, then it needs to be in Nashville. You can't put it out in Franklin called Nashville Stars. You can't put it out in Antioch or Smyrna or somewhere like that. So if it's going to be not in Nashville, I don't think it should be allowed to be called the Nashville Stars. You want to call it Tennessee Stars? That's fine. Or whatever it is. Or Music City Stars.
Do you think pro teams should go by the state name with their first name?
I don't really have a preference on that thought. Now, I do think that, I think if you're in the state, you could be called the state. But if you're going to be called something in the city, you have to be in that city. It may not be a sexy name elsewhere, but you have to be in that city.
Gotcha. What do you think, Jackson? You got an opinion?
For the naming, I agree with Zach. Moving to a suburb is so lame.
Yeah. So
just think we could have been the Nashville Titans.
I just
probably
don't
would
think
have been a
that's-
different name.
Yeah, you would have to go a different name because I'm also a big fan of alliteration.
Okay.
So like Tennessee Titans flows better than Nashville Titans does. Memphis Grizzlies flows better than Tennessee Grizzlies. Tennessee Grizzlies just doesn't
Nashville
sound
Grizzlies, though, that rolls off the tongue.
No, you'd have to be called the Nashville Trash Pandas or whatever. You know, let's just make it all.
You hear this guy?
Yeah, you can't.
He lives in Nashville.
No, you're not going to be able to do that for Memphis.
There's going to be some
more Grizzlies.
There's going to be some trash thrown at your door today from a trash bin that's going to have the bin at your door.
Yeah.
John Morant, get ready to learn Broadway, buddy.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Well, I mean, getting the Grizzlies over to the Nashville. I think if anything, Nashville would just get its own team. But I don't even think that's going to happen.
I don't think the Grizzlies
have two NBA teams.
Yeah, because think about like the Georgia Braves does not sound as good as the Atlanta Braves. It still rolls off the tongue, but doesn't sound as good. Like, I mean, that's kind of where I'm out as well. So I will say this. Stoney in the chat, co-host of Football and Other F Words, he does bring this into question about Buffalo hosting a Super Bowl. He goes, doesn't the plumbing have to be up to standards too? Like the city has to be able to handle all the doo-doo before they get the Super Bowl. So I guess the plumbing in Buffalo, not that good. So there you go. You would think it would be really good because of all the buffalo wings they eat, all the crappy, rubbery buffalo wings they eat.
That was poop.
Yeah. It was. That's what he said. They were crap. They were crap wings. Okay, real quick. Trade the Predators for the Grizzlies. I think I'd rather have the Predators here.
You're going against your Memphis Grizzlies?
It's that like Memphis doesn't feel like a hockey town. It feels like a basketball town. It's a football town. Hockey feels like it fits perfectly here in Nashville. It just does. I don't know. Just weird like that. Just real quick, international team. You think the first one's in London, or do you think it's somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm going London. I prefer, though, Dubai, but I don't think it's on the list.
I don't think that's good.
That would be wild. A reaction out of Jackson. He didn't do anything. He didn't even flinch. He went, yeah.
I'm going to go, I think it's either going to be in Canada or Mexico because I think the time zones are easier to handle for the first international team. I do eventually think they'll go over to Europe, but I'm thinking let's test the market where it's not so strenuous on the players for travel.
I like that. I like it.
Because that's what I think the NFL is going to do. They're going to try to test their water like at Mexico City or maybe somewhere up in Canada because, you know, both of those you don't have to go crazy with your realignment, conference realignment. Easier travel.
Where are they playing at overseas this year?
Germany, Ireland, London, Mexico City, and are they doing Brazil too?
Is Australia this year?
Australia is this year, right?
Ooh.
Like that too. That's a crazy flight. Insane flight. All right, that will do it for us here on Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons. 3HL's up next. And in the meantime.
And in between time. Peace.